Hey guys, Robyn here. Welcome to Byrdbrainin. Today we're going to make naan bread or naan bread, depending on how you pronounce it. So let's get at it. Okay, I will scroll across the screen what you need to make this. We are going to start with 1/2 cup of warm water. It's 110 degrees water. Get yourself an instant thermometer and check the temperature or your yeast is not going to rise. We are going to need 1 teaspoon of sugar. Add it to that water. Then we are going to need 2 1/4 teaspoons or 1 packet of Active Dry Yeast. There's 1. There's 2. And we have a quarter of Active Dry Yeast. Then you're going to want to stir that together and set it aside for 5 minutes to make sure it activates and rises. So we will be back. Okay, as you can see, there is a nice, let me get the camera down on this. There is a nice foamy head like a beer on top of your yeast, which means that it is activated and it is ready to go. Sometimes when I'm making my naan bread, I will make garlic butter to go into it to give it a garlicky taste. Today I am not, because I'm not sure what we're going to have this with tonight. So after this yeast is activated and you know that it's good, let me grab this one smaller. We are going to add 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. And it has to be Greek yogurt, not regular yogurt. For some reason, regular yogurt does not let the naan bread rise up as well. So we're going to add that in. Then we are going to add in 1 cup of bread flour. And bread flour is lighter than your all-purpose flour. And again, if you use all-purpose flour, which I did, it does not rise as light and fluffy as what you want these to be. Now, for those of you that may be on a low sodium diet, you can use no salt in this or light salt. I've done it. My husband had a heart attack back in December, the Widowmaker. He actually died, and the good Lord and the techs at the hospital where he was at brought him back to me. So we have been really watching everything we eat. Now, salt. As I run off at the mouth, 1 teaspoon. And I threw my teaspoon into the sink. So we are going to just add a 1/2 teaspoon twice, or if you don't want all that sodium, which I don't, a 1/2 teaspoon of regular salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of no salt. Right on in there. Now you're going to mix this together, and it is going to be a dry, flaky dough. And you're just going to keep on mixing that. And we are going to add 1 tablespoon, once that gets incorporated a little bit there, of melted butter. This is where if you had the garlic butter, you would add the 1 tablespoon of garlic butter. And again, to watch our cholesterol, I'm using margarine. Your choice. And we're just going to mix that on up. And that's about all I can do with that. Time to get the hands dirty. Let me pan on down here so you can see the dough. we're just going to mix this all together until it forms a ball. Now, if your dough seems a little bit dry, like this does, I just add a little bit of water at a time, maybe a tablespoon. I just pour it in. And you're just going to keep on bringing that together into a ball. Add a little bit more water. The original recipe called for a half a cup. I find it takes maybe a half a cup and 2 tablespoons. There you go. As you see, you got a nice ball here. Now, I bring it on out to the rolling mat, and you're just going to keep kneading this together until it gets to be, so when you push on it, it springs back. This takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And it is a little sticky. And you're going to roll it over. Until you got a nice round dough ball. And as you can see, it springs back. I like to do this just a little bit more. And you have a nice pretty ball. And see how it comes back. Now I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and put it in the bowl. Or you can drizzle the garlic butter on top of this, and I just roll this around in the bowl. Okay, so we are going to cover this with plastic wrap. I had to go get it, so. And as everybody knows, plastic wrap is just so fun to deal with. Okay. And you're just going to lay it over it kind of loosely. And then I am going to cover it with a towel. And I do not have a proofing oven, so it goes into the microwave with a heated container of water. Okay, it's back here. And we're going to put this in the microwave to let it rise. And we will set the timer for 90 minutes because that's all the higher I can go. And it actually let it rise for 2 hours. So in 90 minutes I'll come back down and set it for another 30 minutes. And then we will make up the naan bread. So I'll see you guys in a minute, which will actually be 2 hours. Welcome back to Byrdbraining. Now, it's been 2 hours, so the naan bread has been rising. And it is double its size. So we're going to take it out of the bowl and put it on to a floured surface. And we're going to roll it out a little bit. And then we're just going to make this funny little oblong shape here. And we're going to take our little bread cutter and we're going to cut it long ways in half and then in 6 equal pieces. And then we're going to roll that into little balls. And just roll it under and then roll it around. So you got these nice pretty little balls, and We try to get them as equal in size as we can, and some of them just turn out a little bigger than others, and that's why you know they're homemade. Not like they come out of a press from the grocery store or some factory. Just roll them under. And then we're going to dust them with just a little bit of flour and cover them with that plastic wrap that came off the bowl. And then cover them with a towel. And we are going to give them 20 minutes on the timer. And we'll be back. It's been 20 minutes and our little naan bread rolls have doubled in size. And we're going to move these little dudes out of the way. We're going to flour up the mat here just a little bit more. And we're going to smash him out. And we're going to roll. Got to get some flour on my rolling pin. We're going to roll these guys out about as flat as you can get them. Now I flip them over and just roll them out. Now, as you can see, this is not a perfect circle. If it were a perfect circle, it would be from a factory. So we're just going to keep on rolling him as thin as we can get him, but as long as he can still fit into my pan. I've already preheated my cast iron skillet. It's been heating about 5 minutes now because you want that nice and hot and dry. Now we're going to put that on into the skillet. And just move it so that it's all touching. And then we're going to wait for these nice pretty air bubbles to pop up on it. I'm going to try to zoom in here so that you can watch it cooking. You can see the little air bubbles starting to form in it. And that's what you want to see. They take about 3 to 5 minutes to cook. And we're getting little air bubbles here and there. The hotter your pan is, the faster it cooks. Gas stoves are better to cook these than electric stoves, but I only have an electric stove. You see the little air bubbles starting to form. I get impatient waiting on these to cook. And the bigger the bubbles, the lighter it is. But you want to be careful not to burn the other side. As you get doing the second and the third one, your pan, of course, is hotter, so they cook a lot faster. It's kind of like watching pancakes rise. The more air bubbles that are in them, you know that they're done. Then you're going to flip it over, grab your spatula, and I smash them down because you want those nice little bubble marks on the other side. And you give this side about 2 minutes. And they got that nice golden brown color to them. And while that's cooking, you can be rolling out your next little bread. Flatten it out. And just roll it out nice and flat so that you can almost see through it. This one is done. And we're going to take that out and grab, I lost my butter thingy. We're going to take the first one out of the pan and we are going to just put some garlic butter on top of it, just like so, and then we'll throw the next one in and hopefully this one will puff up a little better. Because the pan's a little hotter, so it should rise up nice and big. In the meantime, while that one's cooking, we'll roll out the next one. Oh yeah, this one's puffing up real nice because the pan's good and hot. Look at all those bubbles in that one. That's what you want to see. And all these pretty little bubbles. That almost starts looking like a pita pocket. And then you're going to flip it over and smash her down. And sometimes if your bread has too much flour on it, it will build up in the bottom of your pan. So I kind of pat mine off before they go into the pan. Oh, and that one looks perfect. Look at all those little bubble marks. We're going to throw that one over there and coat it with melted butter. Let's see if the third one comes up as puffy as the second. The longest thing with making naan bread is waiting for it to rise. And I've left mine in to rise for 3 hours because I had to run to town one day, and the bread just rose up so light and fluffy. So sometimes the longer you leave your bread in to rise, the bigger and lighter and fluffier your naan bread comes out. Like I said, usually your second and third naan breads that go into your pan are your prettier ones. They come out with more air bubbles. Look at them bubbles just pop up there. And I usually cook them 2 to 3 minutes per side. And flip it over. Now you can put garlic butter on these, regular butter, no butter, whatever you decide to top them with is up to you. They're just really good to have as a side to spaghetti. We're having broccoli baked tonight, and we just wanted something else to go with it. So let me flip this one over, and look how pretty that is. And I'm going to show you how nice these tear, how pretty they are. They flip that one over and douse it with butter. And I just blocked the screen. Now this is the one that just came off. I'm going to grab the one on the bottom because that one's really hot. Look at this. Isn't that just pretty? And they just taste so good. You can use these as wraps. They just go with everything. So enjoy your naan bread. You guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.